Throughout your life, you're going to form many relationships with many different people. You're going to have teachers, you're going to have bosses, you're going to have girls, and of course, you're going to have friends. And as you know, especially when you're young, most of the times, friends ain't forever. I'm going to give you an analogy. I'm pretty sure I've used it on the channel before. My father taught me this. Your life is a bus, okay? And you're the driver. Sometimes you got to make a stop. Sometimes a wheel might get flat. You take the wrong path, whatever, right? Just like a real bus, people get on that bus. Like I said, bosses, girls, friends. Everybody eventually is getting off that bus. You might be lucky and have somebody amazing who gets off until you die. It'll be painful for them once you leave if they love you. But still, you'll be together in some way. I guess you could say like a brother or a sister, something like that. But most people will leave soon. Most people will leave a lot sooner before you die. You're going to get off your bus. You need to understand one thing, alright, guys? Most people view friendships wrong. Most people say, I'm just going to find some person who I can tell my problems to, this and that. No. I'm sure. If you want to vent, sure. If there's someone who can give you good advice, sure. But you need to understand, guys, that when you're really starting to work on yourself, you're really starting to fucking work out. You're really starting to learn combat, right? You're really starting to find ways to make money. You're chasing excellence. Most people won't view you the same. Most people, you won't even be able to align with them. I can't have conversations with regular people anymore. I just fucking can't. What am I gonna tell them? What are they gonna tell me? I can't even talk to people I went to middle school with, to high school with, to primary school with. These were just people that at some point in my life, they were on my bus, but now there's nothing. You need to understand that outgrowing your friends is probably going to happen. If you're working on yourself, it's probably going to happen, okay? And you need to analyze something even deeper. As I've said before, I'm going to leave the card up here, your circle is very important, right? 5 people you choose to surround yourself with are going to have the most impact on you. Right now, if you want to work on yourself, or if you're already working on yourself for 1 month, 1 week, 10 years, look at your group, look at your circle. Ask yourself, why are you friends with these people in the first place? What are they doing with their lives? And what can you learn from them? What can you look up from them? Because friends are supposed to complement each other. You're supposed to learn shit from them, alright? If your answers are, we went to high school together, we met at a fucking party, unless it was some kind of networking event and they can help you and someone you can help them, that's fucking garbage, alright, guys? You gotta understand that, like I said, when you're working on yourself, it kind of gets fucking lonely because people kind of don't understand you. People kind of don't want to do the fucking work. How many teenagers do you see working out consistently? Diet, sleep, training, learning combat, right? Learning how to make money, improving their appearance, being hygienic, having a good grooming routine, dressing well, taking care of their facial hair, of their hair, right? You don't see this shit often, alright, guys? And if you're in a group of 5 losers and you're number 6, and all of a sudden you start dressing better, you start getting jacked, you start learning combat, they ain't gonna like that shit. They're probably gonna be jealous of you. And if they're shitty friends, which they probably are, they're gonna talk shit about you. Oh my god, look at you, you dress like a nerd. You get the point, right, guys? You gotta understand that eventually you can meet the right people. I really do believe that. Right now, there's not really many people I click with in the world. I only have like 1 friend, I don't care, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've always been someone of little friends, but I only really have 1 friend. And it is what it is, because I know, guys, one day I'm going to find people closer to me, one day, eventually. In the networks I'm in Hustlers University, in the MMA world that I'm in, I'm training to be an amateur, right? I'm going to find people like me. I'm going to find people who think like me. And once I get famous, once I get big, I'm going to find people like me. And that can happen for you too if you start doing the work, right? But you gotta let go of these people, these low value people who you see they're not working on themselves, even if you try to help them, because you gotta understand that you can take a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink water, right? I have a friend who was very, very bad with girls, he was driving, the girls were using him to drive them around, he was buying them coffee, he was just being a bitch, right? I tried to help him. We talked for like 3 hours in person. I gave him my copy of the Unplugged Alpha, hoping to help him. And he's still a bitch. And I had to cut ties with him. It is what it is. I mean, fuck, he was my friend, but you gotta understand that a lot of people won't want the help, even if you can offer it to them, you know. And if they don't want the help, fine. You have no reason to be their friend. Let them go. You know, let people go. Let people go. Be comfortable with letting people go, right, guys? And focus on yourself. One day you're gonna find those friends. One day you're gonna find those guys that are like, that's my fucking guy, you know. That's my fucking friend, you know. He's someone I can count on, you know. You know, if we're going out, we're having lunch, some fucker starts shit on us, he's the fucking guy that I can count on, right? And me as well, because I know how to fight, you know. He's the guy, like, you know, you're gonna find these people one day, man. If you're really working on stuff, you will find them. But you gotta understand that right now, it's not about what you'll have in the future, it's about what you have right now. The current friends in your life. And most of them are shit. So you gotta cut them off, right, guys? Always have the strength up here to be alone and focus on your purpose and waste your life. Because believe me, if you don't cut off these friends, you're gonna regret it later, right? I've said it before, I'll say it again. You will always find a strong man alone and a weak man in a crowd. So choose which one you're gonna be. The choice is yours. Make the right one.